My daughter was complaining today that she has a friend who always tells her that we've got dealing with anxiety, dealing with so much of anxiety, and you're on a spiritual path. She said, what's all your spiritual path all about? You should have nothing. You should have nothing at all. You keep going to the ashram, you keep doing all your seva, you say you've been meditating for so long, you should be fine. Yeah, so, the spiritual path is this magic formula. As soon as you meditate even once, all your anxiety disappears. True. False. It's totally false. We are victims of conditioning. We have been conditioned not from this life, but from all our previous lives. To have anxiety. What is the anxiety about? About everything that we can't control. And as soon as we get that new thing, we want something else that we can't control. It's like we want to be miserable. We just cannot live being happy. We want this anxiety. What if? What if? Can we turn that off? What if we could get $1 million? What if I lose my job? I mean, getting on a spiritual path, if it does anything, it only makes you aware. It makes you aware that you're anxious. Some people are addicted to anxiety. They totally need it all the time. They need it all the time to feel as if something's happening. If they're not anxious, it doesn't feel right. What does anxiety do for you? Inside your body, it creates havoc. Your adrenaline starts flooding the system. It's fight or flight, right? Whenever you're anxious, it's as if you're facing a dangerous situation. Like there's a tiger in front of you, right? That's how your body is reacting to anxiety, to stress. So your blood pressure is being elevated. If your blood pressure gets elevated, then it's going through your veins at a different rate. That slows down, right? Your body temperature increases. You start perspiring. Your heart rate is higher, elevated. Okay. So your blood pressure is elevated, your heart rate is elevated. You're actually in a state where you could run from the problem. Okay, that happens with one little bit of anxiety. Now what happens if you continue this for the whole day? What are you doing? This is why it is worse to have anxiety than to drink a couple of drinks in the evening. You're much better off having a glass of wine and a couple of drinks in the evening than being anxious through the day, if you had to compare the two.
That's why they have it.
That's why they have it. Okay. I'm relaxing, I'm letting it all go. Goes for that period of time, 15, 20 minutes, half an hour, 45 minutes. But if you've got yourself into the habit of being anxious, exactly, you'll have to keep drinking. That's why you keep doing whatever you have to do. That takes away that noise for a while. It's that noise in our head, continuous jabber in our head that's telling us, oh, you better do this, you won't have enough money for retirement, you better you talk to your boss like that, this thing, otherwise, you won't be in favor and he'll get the assignment, you won't get the assignment. We're getting these messages, we're telling ourselves these things all the time, that our lives are in jeopardy, that there's something is going to happen. This continual feeling that something is going to happen, that you're not resting, that you're not relaxing. This continual need to maybe make someone else happy, to make sure that this person is not affected. It's not even our own personal problems, our work and the car and whatever. It's what my daughter is thinking, what my son wants, what my husband needs, what my mother wants. All the people that matter, their needs become worries and anxieties for us. We have to stop this habit. We have to it's just a habit. It's nothing else. Anxiety has got very little to do with the spiritual path, other than the fact that your meditation is your spiritual practice. Let me not say spiritual path, your spiritual practice, other than the fact that the meditation will just give you the gift of consciousness. You will be able to see, aha, I'm anxious. That's why we talked about the negativity counter. What is a negativity counter going to do? It's not going to remove the negative thoughts from coming, but it is going to make you aware of how many times you are giving audience to these negative voices in your head. Lots of voices coming in ahead, very few that we actually give vent to. Both are equally bad if they give rise to emotions. It's not that if I'm feeling something but I'm not saying it, so it's okay. No, not at all. Because whenever you have an emotion attached to a particular sentiment, it gives rise to something in the body. Vibrations are given out, and that gets absorbed as stress in your chakras. And then you get disease, something, a cold, a cough, something to slow you down, saying that now you need to shut it out. You need to stop this. If you don't voluntarily stop it, then the universe will conspire to stop you. You'll get that heart attack. You'll get that stroke. You might just get a cough or a cold. These are small warnings that you're getting, or a bad stomach. These are the beginning signs that your body is telling you to slow down, that don't go at this pace. 95% of our problems are because we live in our head all the time. We live with these anxieties all the time. What's going to happen to me? What's going to happen to me? Nothing's going to happen. You're going to be fine. You've always been fine. I'm quite certain you worried last year. And you worried the year before that. You worried last week. And nothing has happened to you. You're still here. Everything's fine. The universe is going to give you what you get. Point is, are you happy with what you get? Right? We're not happy with what we're dealt. Want something else. And that causes us anxiety. If you're happy with whatever you have a $200,000 home, it's good. You've paid most of your mortgage off, some of it off. House is yours, it's a place to live. It's got a lot of joy and a lot of happy moments in this place. Why do you covet $1 million home? You can't afford that mortgage. That might bring you financial ruin. We want much more than we actually need. And by wanting those things, whatever it is we want, it can be material, it can be something else. You want a bigger home, you want a better car, you want your child to get married, you want a good job for your husband or for yourself. We want all these things. It comes from a feeling of satisfaction when you're just happy this minute and you accept everything that's there. The anxiety goes away because the future is nothing if you're not successful today. If you don't count this minute as your moment of success, what future is there? It's only going to be a future of more fear and more anxiety and more worry. You'll have a bigger car and that'll bring its own worries. You'll have a bigger house, that'll bring its own worries. You'll get a second wife, that'll bring its own worries. Whatever it is, it's going to bring something more. Right now, you have to become aware, how much anxiety do I have? And is it worth living with it? Just let it go. Just let it go. Become aware. Go into that anxiety. Go deep into that anxiety and say, where is this anxious thought coming from? Is it coming from a longing to be somewhere else? Make that into a beautiful intention for your future. Put that onto your list. You think abundance, but you don't attach yourself to it. You plant the seeds and let it grow. But you don't constantly dig up the seed to check if it's growing. That's what we do, right? That's what anxiety is. Right? You've planted the seed. You don't trust that the universe, you're watering it and the sunshine is there, everything is there. You don't trust that the universe is going to bring out that shoot and bring that plant and that tree and that flower. It will come. But you are not sure of that. So you say, what if the tree doesn't come? Okay, let me check and see what stage it is in. And as you keep digging the seed, nothing really happens. What you want doesn't actually manifest. But you spent so much time worrying. And even if that tree, that seed grows into a tree, then you have other worries, other anxiety. Oh my God, this tree is too close to the house. Will the roots get under my home? And will it break up the plant? Will it prevent the sun from coming in through the window? It's very important that we get vitamin D in the morning. And that window is my best window. Shall I cut the tree down? Irundalum kashtam, illatalum kashtam. It doesn't matter whether you have it or you don't have it. You have to stop the habit of worrying, of being anxious. It's like flipping a switch in your head. I keep saying it. You need to buy that switch from me. It's a very expensive switch. I just want to tell you. But you need to buy it if you want to be happy. It's going to make all the difference. All the things you want to change, all the transformations that you want to make come with the flip of a switch. You have to learn to do that. And don't let people tell you that you're going to get instant nirvana just because you're meditating once a week or once a day or twice a day. It doesn't happen that way. It takes self-effort. It takes a lot of awareness and consciousness and real effort to change your life. You must want it. You must want it. I want peace. I want happiness. I want to relax. You gotta want that. Then it's effortless. Then it's effortless because you'll work towards that. You will recognize the signs. You will pull back. And how do you pull back? It's very important at those moments to get into that silence. In silence, a lot of your anxieties become much clearer. Half the time, we mask all our real problems by the chatter. We talk a lot. We tell our friends, we tell our co-workers, we tell our husbands. We talk a lot about what we're thinking and what bothers us. Write it on a sheet of paper. Write it on a sheet of paper. Crumple that sheet of paper and throw it away. I tell you it's not important. Whatever it is that you're facing is going to get solved. I know that. Point is, do you know that? You have to believe that it's all okay. It's all fine. Just the way it is. Right now, you got to make today, this moment, this day work. Tomorrow is just a collection of todays. If today doesn't work, tomorrow will not. So let go your anxieties. Fully accept your present moment. And just know that the universe is not your enemy. The universe is your friend. And nothing is going to happen contrary to what you want. That has to be a strong belief inside you. Begin your day with a happiness affirmation. Say it to yourself 1,000,000 times till you believe it. Because you don't believe that you deserve to be happy. You believe that you deserve this misery, this uncertainty, this unease, this worry, you believe that. If you believed that you deserve to be happy, you would drop everything. Drop all this worry. Nothing is in your control. You can worry to death till your last breath about whether your daughter will have a baby or not. But your worrying won't make her conceive. Ever. Worry doesn't help anybody. Anxiety doesn't help anybody. It is your biggest enemy, not only from a health point of view, from a point of view of being just a productive and centered human being. You can't contribute if you're continually worried. And who'll want to be with you? If you're always wired up and stressed and don't have a smile on your face. I mean, everyone is looking for people that are calm and happy and centered, and they're all looking for a laugh and a joke. So then why don't you consider life as a joke? It's all a big joke. Somebody has some problem, somebody has the other. Someone has one car, someone has another. Someone has a job, someone doesn't. Someone has arms, someone doesn't. It's all a big joke. Today you win, tomorrow you lose. It's up, it's down, it's night, it's day. What is happening to you? So why don't you just sit back, enjoy your life? Just Just decide that I'm going to be happy and enjoy my life. What is the point of it otherwise? I came when you're gone, and then your maker asks you, what did you do in your life? I'm worried about making money. Says, okay, where is that money? So, I left it back on earth. Huh? Oh, I worried about my relationship with my husband. Where is that relationship? Oh, I left him back on earth. You're going to leave everything. Everything. You got to realize that nothing matters except what you're learning, the knowledge. What have you learned? That, when your maker asks you, what did you learn? And you say, I learned to give up my worry. He says, where is that? He says, that will be with you. Because that learning remains with you. No matter which life you go through. The worries get left. But the ability to transcend your anxiety, that is your learning. That is your growth. That is the beauty of life. That is when you learn how to enjoy life. That is what you've got to think about today. And when you meditate now, am I going to just worry? Am I going to enjoy my life? And I would, sincerely suggest the latter.